Technology is changing just about everything in our lives, but now it's starting to change how we connect, communicate, and even fall in love. My next guest says more people are turning to AI for emotional support, conversation, and companionship. So what does that mean for our real relationships? Gibson is the Personal Development School co-founder and joins us to break it all down. Hello.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. It's such an exciting topic, but also a really unique one.
Indeed, it really is. So tell me, why are people turning to AI for connection?
Well, firstly, 53% of individuals actually report having some sort of relationship with AI and feeling some sort of affection towards them in the United States. And in this digital age, people are turning here because we have so many individuals who are running on fumes. They're getting a lot of quantity of connection, but a lot lower quality of connection. And AI is always there, it's convenient, it's available, and people can find this way to talk to AI without actually having to address their wounds, their fears, or the discomfort of vulnerability.
That is so true. One thing about AI, you give it a prompt, it will respond. It will not leave you unread, that's for sure. Tell me, where is the line though between using AI to improve communication versus avoiding vulnerability altogether?
Great question. See, I think AI is great for drafting a conversation, getting feedback, even bouncing your ideas off of somebody or really something. But the moment that we start copying and pasting things, people lose their ability to critically think about the feedback they're getting and consider how it makes them feel or if it's actually aligned with them, then it becomes really problematic. And in fact, one of the things we're going to see in the future when it comes to AI and dating is that people are going to begin using AI agents for dating apps, which means they're going to use AI to literally vet their connections for them, to respond to people without actually reading messages. And they're going to be inputting all of this information into this AI agent for how they like to respond to things, who they're looking for. And the moment you take the human piece, the vulnerable, authentic piece out of that experience, there's going to be a lot of downsides to outsourcing those decisions.
Wow, it sounds like a true disconnect indeed. I mean, not only in vulnerability, but just in human connection in general. And so, how does this show up in our relationships?
So I think one of the first things you'll see is that people can end up in a dynamic where they are endlessly swiping because there's this endless sea of people available. And one of the problems here is that people can end up seeking short-term gratification. For example, the moment there's a problem in a relationship, they're like, "Oh, well, I have other matches on dating apps." And they avoid actually doing the work in the relationship. And I think it's really important to note that people do not fall in love with perfection and with scripts and with easy things. People actually build deeper love and connection through having hard conversations, merging your inner world, being vulnerable and authentic. And the moment those ingredients go missing, it's going to cause some problems in relationships where we end up having a lot more surface level relationships over time.
So, what do you think we can do? I mean, singles and couples to unplug. And also, what are the warning signs if we're in a situation where we're dating someone who is leaning heavily on AI or if it's ourselves?
Great question. So, one of the first things is I think we want to have habits and structures that preserve vulnerability. There was a really in depth study done that showed that actually connection and people who reported being less lonely didn't necessarily have more friends, they had higher quality of friends. And what this actually showed is that this quality was based on vulnerability. So, of course, that's going to translate into our romantic relationships. So, people can start doing things to preserve that, putting their phones away when they're on dates, tolerating the discomfort of vulnerability because it's not always
Hmm.
easy, and actually practicing building that emotional bandwidth to do so, and doing things that are more spontaneous, having phone calls, asking more deep, meaningful questions intentionally in their relationships, and all of that will go a very long way.
These are such great tips, but I also think this is a reality check for all of us. We all lean on social media, and as technology grows, I think we find ourselves leaning a little bit more and a little bit more. And so this is a nice reality check for all of us to say, okay, let me use my own brain power and let me make those real connections in real life. Thank you so much for being here this morning. And if you guys are looking for Thais, her information is right below. Thank you
Thank
again.
you so much for having me. This was fun.